Hi guys, it's Christian, hope you're well. A few weeks ago I did a demo of using this follow action from Isotonic Studio to give you one button arranging on the fly control of your Ableton tracks with dynamic cues. It seems to be really popular, lots of great feedback for it. A few questions over how to take a multi-track from either multitracks.com, maybe Loop Community, Worship Backing Band, those kind of places, and how to get them into the right format quickly and also get them all split up with the right sections and the cue tracks ready to go, and how to create the repeat cue tracks. A few people were concerned that that was quite a lengthy process. So I just want to show in this video how it's actually not that difficult to do, not that time consuming, especially once you get into a repetitive workflow. So I'm going to open up a multi-track that I've downloaded today from multitracks.com from the new Worship Central album, and talk you through the process of adding this song called Set Apart to my library. So here goes. Okay, so on my screen now I've got Set Apart from Worship Central's new album. I've purchased this from multitracks.com and I've opened it in arrangement view. I've clicked on the guide track and I've clicked duplicate, and then I've duplicated it below and renamed it repeat cues. So this is the first start of the process, is I need to build two cue tracks. So I need one that is the normal guide track that talks me through from start to finish, and then I need the one that's going to do the repeat. So I simply copy this in as I've just said, and then I go through, and on every marker I go shortcut Command or Apple E to split the track up. So each one of these is then divided into a small section. Scroll to the end of the song, and all I'm doing is bringing each cue track forward. So this one says end, so I can lose the end one. This one says bridge, so I'm going to drag the bridge forward, so it tells me to repeat. I'm going to drag that bridge forward, so it's telling me to repeat. That bridge forward to telling me to repeat. And that bridge, there's a lot of bridges at the end, so they're all repeats there. So, and actually this one here, which is also a bridge, can stay in there. So all of those are bridges. So if I repeat any of the section, I basically want this cue track here to say the start of the name. So this one here says bridge, but I don't need that one to say bridge, so I'm going to delete that one. And at the end of here, it says breakdown. So I'm going to drag that one into there so that if I repeat the breakdown, I've got the breakdown. This one here will say vamp at the end of it, so I'm just going to drag that down to roughly the right size and pop that into there. So I've got one that says vamp if I choose to repeat the vamp. The one at the end of this vamp says chorus, so I'm going to drag that into my chorus guide. This one will say vamp, so I'm going to drag that into my vamp guide. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm just very quickly, I've got two choruses there, so I can paste that one into that line. Copy and paste, great. This one says chorus, but I need it to say chorus, so that one is fine. So I can lose this one, and then I want one that says bridge, so I'm going to copy and paste that one into bridge. So that one will say bridge, that one will say bridge, that one will say bridge, that one will say bridge. This one will say bridge, and the one before, however, will say breakdown. So we need this one to say breakdown. So we're going to take that one out and drag the breakdown over. This one will say chorus, and I can copy that one because I want both of those to say chorus. So again, I want this cue here to say the marker before, and the cue up here to say the marker after. So chorus is in that one. Let me just double check that's right. So because I've just, so let's play it from here. Chorus. Great, so that says chorus. This is gonna say chorus, but I need it to say verse. So let's delete the chorus one and copy the verse over to the right place. This one I want to say interlude. Oh, let's drag it from the other end so I don't lose the vocal cue. Interlude, and drag that into the interlude gap. This one I want to say chorus, so we'll drag that one on because I want the chorus from here to there. This one says verse, and I also want that one to say verse, so that's perfect. Let's copy and paste the verse over. This one says verse 1, but I want it to say intro, so I'm going to delete that one. This one says intro twice because there's a drum intro and then the piano intro, and I paste that in and drag that. So there we go. Within just a few seconds, or maybe a couple of minutes if you were timing, I've created a double cue track, which is all the repeats. The next thing I'm going to do now is start making the tracks. Great, so to do that, we're going to use Ableton 9's feature of Consolidate to New Scene. So clicking down here, I'm going to drag up all of my scenes for all of that count off measure. I'm going to come to create and go consolidate time to new scene. I'm going to click on the next one and drag up, and again go create, consolidate time to new scene, and the next one, consolidate time to new scene. And again, let's do it again on the verse. Time to new scene. Great. So I started to build these. I'll go through the whole song and do it. Press tab or the button over here to switch to session view, and you'll see that we've started to build up the running order of the track there. So we've now got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got that, which is the count off. We've got the intro. Intro. And then we've got the next line. You hear I've got the 2 cue tracks going on there because I've got the one coming from the repeat and one from the normal one. So we've got repeat cues and guide here, and then we've got. Great, so we're building up the track. So let me pause this and finish this off, and then we'll jump back in. So I grabbed myself a drink, and I then continued with my consolidate time to new scene. Flipped over to the other view, and I've got them all here. So the whole song is laid out in all the individual parts. So you can see if you follow the drum part, it's broken down actually into 28 different scenes, which is great. 28 different locations all the way through. I then followed the cue track down and renamed them. So count, intro drums, intro verse, verse 2, chorus. So I've got a flow to follow a little bit later on. So they're all here, all the instruments broken down, even the ones I'm not going to use. I go up and I click file and save live set. This has just saved it, so that's already saved, and then I'm going to jump back to my main template and start importing them to my template. So see you there in a moment. Okay, so here I am in my master template. I've got my set apart labeled and 28 spaces in my master template. I'm going to open up my cue tracks first and navigate in the side window to my multi-track folder. In there, I'm going to hit the drop down arrow next to the multi-track set apart, and you'll see that these are all the parts that we've just created. If I click guide, you'll see all the bits that we labeled in that guide column are all sat there waiting. All I need to do is click guide and drag it into my guide track, line up the top one, count, and you'll see that they all follow. And as I let go, I've then imported all the split sections ready for them. I'm going to do the same with repeat, but repeat starts one measure down. So I'm just going to, because I didn't have a measure at the start, and my repeats in. Now I can repeat the process going into multi-track, so I can go into beats and bass and cymbals, percussion, guitar. So loop is where beats I tend to put in the loops, or the loops tend to go in the beats. So I can drag that into there. I can go through my piano, because piano is the next one that I can see there that I want in there. So let's grab piano and grab piano and drop that into there. I've got keys 1. Forgive me for the Spring Harvest holidays, it just popped up. It's a bit of free advertisement for them. Keys 1, keys 2, and then I'll literally go through and finish off putting in the rest of the instruments and come back to you in a moment. Okay, so everything is copied. I've got all parts, all the 28 parts ready to go. Really pleased. I've copied over just what I've wanted. They're all in the right folder. I've got all the cue tracks ready to go. I've got repeat tracks, and I've got the parts working. So again, if we were to open up our follow actions and refer to the other video for this, but let's say we triggered off the track and we've got it in next mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, we jump down to the next mode, and again let's jump straight into verse. Let's jump into second verse. Great. So if I hit this button, you can see that the 2 faders have changed, the repeat cues have come up and the main cues have gone down. So at the end of this I'm telling us to repeat the verse again. Verse. Repeat the verse. I press my foot button on my soft step, or click this foot switch button here, which does the same. It's now selected next. The normal cue tracks will come back up, and the repeat cue tracks will come down. Chorus. Of course, I can turn off the instruments that I don't need for that particular service. So we're all set, ready to go. There's just one more thing to make it tidy, would be to rename all of these down here. or 28. Now I can either go through the task of renaming them, or I can do a bit of a shortcut. This is the way that I cheat, and let me show you this. I first just come up here and insert a new audio track very quickly. I select all of the cue tracks that we renamed earlier, that's made our job that much easier, and I copy and I paste them starting here into, so I've got a repeat of all the cue tracks. In this file here, in this channel here, I then put a Max for Live device from Isotronic Studios called Clip to Scene. Drag that into this editor, into the bottom here. So now on this audio, I've got a clip to scene. I click rename, and all it's going to simply do is take the name of all of these clips and change the name of all the scenes. So now I've got my main title, and all of these have been named to exactly the bit that I want. I don't put this on the cue tracks because it would rename everything in my template, and I don't want everything renamed. I just want the song I've been working on. Once I've done that, I take the device back out of this channel, and I delete that channel to go back to where I was with just the 2 channels. I'm all set up, I'm ready to go, and now when I use my Isotronic follow actions, it's going to tell me the name and the next section exactly as it should. Of course, if I press the button to do it again, it's going to say it again, it's going to be verse 3, 4 is going to be chorus, use the pop-up window. I'm all sat ready to go. All I need to do now is click collect all and save to make sure that I've saved all my new clips for set apart into my template. This whole process from start to finish, once you get used to it, really you can do in probably 5-10 minutes maximum. It's a much quicker way of doing it, and once you've got it all done, you've got it done for life and your song is set up. Hope that helps. Hope it's been really useful. Take care and God bless.